Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 12, highs and lows. I am the Commish, and I'm here to talk to you about everything that happened this week in our league, which has been very exciting. And we've got some stories that are unfolding for some of our teams. Some of us, the storybook is closed, and we are not moving on to the playoffs. But there are 5 teams that have advanced to the playoffs, and I'm going to talk all about that here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and start around the league like I always like to do. Always got to throw a shout out to the Chiefs. Even though they didn't play this week, they were on their bye, getting some rest, getting healthy, so that way they can come back and take care and win that division and hopefully get us to the Super Bowl this year. So there's my shout out to the Chiefs, as usual. So what's going on around the NFL? Well, there's a few things. Number one, I think the Steelers have promoted their water boy to be the quarterback this week. They got some guy in there named Hodge, and Rudolph is out. He's not allowed to play any more football games. To the Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer reference there. Also, Lamar Jackson dazzles us this week with 5 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure that Dan Chase is extremely happy right now with that guy because he has been on fire. Also, another notable item around the NFL, you have Troy Polamalu and Reggie Wayne, who are among semifinalists for the Hall of Fame. So that's a really good thing. Both of those guys are very deserving of that. And also, anybody that watched the Cowboys-Patriots game this week and all those talks about the tripping penalties and how they weren't real and they were phantoms, they were made up and all that stuff, well, the league office contacted the Cowboys organization today and told them that those penalties should not have happened. Or that they didn't happen. So it's not going to change the outcome of the game, obviously, but it is what it is. The refs are doing their job to protect the Patriots this year. So great jobs, ref. Keep up that crappy job that you're doing. All right, so now let's move on to our league, the XFFL. Okay, so we want to start off with the high score of the week. This one right here, I think, is going to be a surprise for a lot of us. Congratulations to Coach Carter Pittman and the Wookiees of the Year. They went up against a very good Miller's Maniacs team this week, but they came out victorious with a score of 178 to 149. Now, the MVP of the game was Ryan Tannehill. He was 14 for 18, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 51 fantasy points. So that was a really, really nice piece of work for Tannehill. But here's the thing. We got something called a POW, right? A POW, Pickup of the Week. And young Carter, with his visionary mindset in his coaching role, decided to drop Pettis at the last minute there and pick up Jarvis Landry for the Browns, and he was 10 for 17 with 148 yards and 2 touchdowns, giving him 35 points. So that was a 35-point swing. Obviously, it made a huge difference in the scoreboard there, but his team was strong this week. So congratulations on that, Coach Carter, and keep up the good work. Now, let's move on to Deadass Last. That's right. So our lowest score of the week this week was the Wolfpack. Jason Wolf played me, Irish Car Bombs, and he put up a whopping 33 points. That's right, folks. You did not mishear those 33 points. He was one of 3 teams that really had an abysmal week this week. We had a 66 and a 48 and a 33, so not a good week for points in the XFFL. But the stinkers on his team were Juju Smith-Schuster and the Panthers defense. Both of those players got him a big goose egg, so that didn't help his cause. But there was also those sleep at the wheel moves, right? So he had 2 key players on bye this week. He had Cousins and he had Kelsey on a bye, so obviously he's going to get a goose there. So 4 goose eggs in an 8-player starting lineup. It's decimating. So now what happened here is that not only did he get the lowest score of the week, but he also set a new record. That's right. So the lowest points in a single game, 33 points, now belongs to the Wolfpack and Jason Wolf. So the old record was 35 points, and it was set in 2005 by the Weasels, who was run by Dan Quinn back in the day, for those of you that remember Dan Quinn. So not a good week there for Coach Wolf with his team. Now, we are not going to do the Eliminator because that was taken care of last week. Again, congratulations to Coach Carl Pittman for taking care of that and becoming this year's League Eliminator. Took care of everybody. All right, so let's talk about playoffs, shall we? Playoffs, here we go. So 5 teams are already in, like I said at the beginning of the video segment. We've got the Wookiees of the Year are in, Kickers of Butte, Miller's Maniacs, the Marauders, and the Kentucky Rednecks. Those 5 teams are locked into the playoffs. There's still some shuffling that needs to take place, but those guys are in. Now, there are 2 division titles that are up for grabs, the AFC West and the NFC East. The AFC West, what we've got going on there is the Kickers of Butte and Miller's Maniac are fighting for who's going to lock that league down. So there is a pathway for Miller to win and to clinch the division. It's a very tall order, but it is possible to happen. So get out there and check your league standings, see how that's going. But if he does a good job this week, at the end of it, Tony's been leading the division all year, but could find himself being, on the not being the wild card basically for the conference. In the NFC East, with the decline with RuPaul's Titans and the incline of Pylon Pythons, so they're in a tight matchup. So there is a pathway there. If the Pythons win against the Dirty Birds and RuPaul's Titans lose against Tennessee Big Guns, then one's in and one's out, and that would be a hard pill for Coach Carl to swallow because he has been up there in the front of the pack for most of the season. So to lose in the last week, that would really, really bite. So now let's move on to the 2 divisions that are locked in. So let's show a big round of appreciation and applause for Coach Carter. His first playoff bid that he's made. Right now, the current situation is that he is only the AFC East champ. So he's got that under, locked down and tucked away. There is a situation where he could also end up becoming the bye week, the first number 1 seed in that conference and being a bye week member for the playoffs. So we'll see how that unfolds next week. And then in the NFC West, you have the champ there, which is Dan Chase. He's back in the saddle again, folks. And he's not only clinched that division, but he has also clinched the first round bye for the playoffs. So that's a nice little chunk of change for him, with the $10 for the division champ slot and the $75 for the first round bye. So that's a total of $85. Carter, he got 10 for right now for just locking down his division. So good things happening there for everybody. So we're just going to have to wait, see how things go next week, and see what plays out for the teams. But we still got some storylines that can be changing quite drastically next week. All right, so as far as some notable notes that I have for the week, so I'm looking for some dates to do our awards night. I'm looking at the weekend of January 18th and 19th, or 25th and 26th. If you have a preference or you have any other ideas on when you think we should do it, please email me, text me, whatever, and let me know what works for you. Also, I want to bring this up again this week since we're going into the last week before the playoffs and we have so many things riding on it. Lineup maintenance. Say it after me. Lineup maintenance. Take care of your teams. Do what you're supposed to do. Get those lineups in. Don't leave those bye week players in there. Don't leave those injured players in there. Take care of what you need to take care of. We're looking at the end of the road here for some folks. We would hate to see somebody get knocked out of the playoffs because we're not taking care of our lineups. So please do that for me. All right. So I think that's it for me. Actually, it's enough. It's a pretty jam-packed video this week. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off here and see what excitement is in store for us next week. I am the Commish, and I will see you around the league.